Hey, first grade friends! So we are on our last day of this writing task for Native American powwows, and we want to work on writing a closing sentence. But first, let's review what we've worked on so far this week. Let's read our writing prompt. It says, in Native American powwows, we learned that some Native American groups celebrate their history and culture during festivals called powwows. Write an informative, that means teaching, piece to describe what a Native American powwow is like. Be sure to include at least 3 key details from the text. So on Monday, we drew a teaching picture with realistic drawings and labels to show what a powwow looks like, with Native Americans who are participating in dancing and making music, and they're also wearing costumes or traditional clothing. We drew a picture of a tent because very often at festivals we have lots of people who are looking to eat and buy things. We also drew a table with baskets that are for sale because one of the things you can do at a Native American powwow is buy carvings or handmade woven baskets. Then we worked on writing our topic sentence. Our topic sentence tells us what our paragraph is about. I will teach you about Native American powwows. Then yesterday we wrote 3 facts or key details that we learned from the text. We said a powwow is a Native American festival. That's fact number 1. Powwows include lots of dancing and costumes. Fact or detail number 2. And finally we wrote some people make corn soup and fry bread. Fact or detail number 3. So we've taught our reader about Native American powwows. Time to wrap it all up with a closing sentence. Our closing sentence, in a way, repeats our topic sentence. So we said, I will teach you about Native American powwows. Then we did teach them, and now we're just going to finish it up or close it out. So we could write something like, now you know all about Native American powwows. So again, I'm going to draw a line for each word so I can remember my whole sentence. Now, 2-finger space, you, 2-finger space, know, drop down to your next line, all, 2-finger space, about, 2-finger space, Native, 2-finger space, American. I'm going to squeeze powwows right here, but you could also go to the back of your paper, period at the end of my sentence. And then I'm just going to start writing and filling in my lines. We know when I write now, which is my first word, now you know all about Native American powwows. The N in now has to be uppercase because we always capitalize the first word in our sentence, the first letter. Now you know, these are all sight words, friends, all about, we wrote about up here. We wrote it U-B-O-W-T because those are the sounds we heard. But then Mrs. Burns-Kahn said it's actually A-B-O-U-T, so that's fine. Now you know all about Native American powwows. Well, we know how to spell all of that because remember it's up in the top in our writing prompt, Native American powwows. So we're just going to snag it or steal it from there and rewrite it. We also wrote it in our topic sentence. Native, uppercase because this is a group of people, it's like a title or a name. American, oh look, I can squeeze this over. I didn't need all that space, so I can move this over so that powwows doesn't get squished. There we go. American powwows. Okay. Now we have a completed paragraph that we can read and be sure that we answered our writing prompt. We want to know, did we write an informative or teaching piece to describe what a Native American powwow is like? And were we sure to include at least 3 key details from the text? Let's see. I will teach you about Native American powwows. A powwow is a Native American festival. 1 key detail. Powwows include lots of dancing and costumes. 2 key details. Some people make corn soup and fry bread. 3 key details. Now you know all about Native American powwows. Now we have written a complete paragraph, friends, with a teaching picture that is labeled to teach somebody what a Native American powwow is like, which is exactly what our writing prompt asked us to do. So grab your regular pencil and your writing and go ahead and add your closing sentence and then read your entire paragraph to yourself.